Hello and welcome. We are at the corner with the lovely Lindsey Stirling. Welcome.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
Oh, well, I'm very, very excited because I'm a fan of yours anyway.
Oh, wonderful.
But we're at the corner, which is such a great Melbourne venue. And how have you enjoyed yourself in Melbourne so far?
You know, it's been awesome. The weather has been so refreshing. It's not hot, it's not too cold, and the food, way good.
That's good because Melbourne does spoil people for food. So you've enjoyed the Melbourne hospitality so far?
We have, definitely.
So you hear that? That's Australia for you. That's right.
Very warm, very welcoming.
That's good. Now, everyone does say that, but I think, yeah, there is a little bit of that to Australia. It's warm, right?
It is. It's wonderful. And people dance and they get into it. So we got off stage and we're like, that was awesome. That felt good.
I'm glad. Now, have you always wanted to come to Australia and tour?
Yeah, I mean, I've always wanted to come just to Australia. So I told my booking agent, I was like, I haven't been to Australia, let's go. And so, you know, we've been able to enjoy it a little bit even. Usually we're just from city to city, but we even got to go to the zoo. And I got to hold a koala bear.
Very nice.
Oh, sorry, I hear it's just a koala.
We did discuss that off camera a little bit.
Sorry, koala, not koala bear.
Okay, I think we'll forgive you. That's fine.
Okay, thank you. I'm learning.
Now, getting back to the music side of things, you know, a little. YouTube sensation, really. I mean, hundreds of millions of views. How do you react to a following like that?
You know, it's kind of crazy. It sometimes just feels unreal that you have, until you go around the world and get to see the people, you know, and you put a face to those numbers on the computer, and sometimes that's when it really is like, wow, these are real people, and you get that connection. And that's why I love touring so much, because suddenly it's very hard for it to be tangible when it's just numbers. But it's been just absolutely insane the last 2 years. I can't believe that music is what has brought me all the way to Australia.
That's great. And you know, on the topic of Australia, we've got a few video game lovers in Australia.
Aha.
You seem to be a video game lover yourself.
I do. I mean, I played them a lot as a kid, for sure.
So that was a part of you growing up?
Yeah, it's part of my childhood, for sure. And there's kind of a nostalgia that comes along with these games now because of that.
And you use a few of those sort of in your clips and sort of movie soundtracks, and you dress up as them. So,
yeah.
You know, what is it about them that inspires you to keep bringing them into your music?
Well, you know, it all started because The Legend of Zelda was something that I connected to as a child. And, someone had told me I looked kind of like Link several times.
Yes.
So I just thought to myself, well, I could put on a pair of ears and dance around the woods and play my violin.
Why not?
Why not? Sounds very normal. Very normal. And so, and then from that I got this, this following of people who love game music. And it's really cool how, because it is a part of people's lives and there's like this whole culture in there, it is a great way to connect with people and to, and so I love that, and I love playing dress ups. So
who doesn't?
Exactly. It makes me feel like a kid again.
And I do have to admire your hat this evening too.
Oh, thank you.
It's almost koala of you tonight.
I almost wore it to the zoo, thinking I might fit in.
You would fit in
a little better if I wore it.
Now, if we're going to talk about you and the fun things you wear and the fun things you do, you are a fantastic violin player, violinist, and, such an active performer. What sort of made you pick up the violin, though?
You know, when I was a kid, my parents used to play classical music on this old record player in our home all the time. And so me and my sisters would dance around the living room to, Mozart and Scheherazade. And I just found this love for the violin. And so at the age of 6, I just started begging for lessons. And they were like, I think she's serious because she won't stop talking about the violin. And so they gave me lessons, and I've played almost every day since then.
That's amazing. And you just discussed dancing, and I've seen dance be a part of your clips. I've seen it be a part of your online moments. I mean, why is it so important for you to include movement in what you do?
Well, I've always loved dancing. I just think it's such a beautiful art form. And, the violin traditionally, and I mean, even when I played my whole life growing up, I could never move while I played. And I just remember thinking, I want to entertain. I don't want to just impress. And so I wanted to add movement. I wanted it to be a visual experience, not just a auditory experience. And so it's been really fun to, at first it was very awkward, very, very hard, and it felt impossible. But after doing it so much, I can't help myself now. I have to move.
Beautiful. Well, I mean, you always put on a great show. And speaking of great things, your self-titled debut album came out last year. And it's a great album, very, very, very beautiful to listen to. What made you put that sort of, fusion of styles together, and what inspires you to sort of write that type of music?
I sometimes joke that I think my heart beats in electronic beats, because anything that makes me want to move, I just can't help myself. I think it's so fun. It makes me smile. And so, you know, I kind of got burnt out a little bit on the violin. I'd played classical music for so long, and I was getting very stale in it. And I just thought, I used to love this. I want to love it again. And so it just clicked in my head, kind of like a no-brainer. Well, play the kind of music that you love. And I was really into electronic music at the time, so I started to explore, started to write my own music, and it's been so fun. It's been really fun to kind of push the limits on, you know, different styles and see what works and what doesn't, and just try new things.
I mean, Crystallize has been a great success for you online, like 70 million views or something amazing. That clip in particular, the movement and the, you know, exploring those two styles. I mean, again, how do you react to that following, and what was it that inspired you in that particular track?
You know, I started listening to dubstep music after I heard of, you know, Skrillex, and I really liked his track Bangarang, and I started to kind of see people requesting, do dubstep, and I kind of took it as like a challenge. Here the violin is one of the most smooth, fluid instruments, and dubstep is, to me, one of the choppier, you know, edgier styles of electronic music. So to fuse the two together, it seemed like complete polar opposites, and it was kind of a fun challenge. And so, and I was absolutely astonished when it blew up the way it did not expect that, but for me that was kind of my moment of, wow, I think this is working. I think this is going to be my life.
You've hit something good.
Something's working, yeah.
That's always nice to feel, that sort of warmth from everybody.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, right. Well, look, thank you so much for joining us. I have one final question. Yes. Looking forward to the future, you know, for Lindsey Stirling, can we see some more, you know, explorations of styles blending together? What sort of is going to be up there for you?
Definitely. Well, I've just started working on my next album, which I'm very excited about. And so, yeah, I think I wanted to kind of push the boundaries even a little bit more, sticking to this electronic style music, but seeing if I could make it slightly more dancey in some areas, or, you know, just kind of try. But I'm always loving to try new things, and I hope to do some more collaborations with different artists, because I think that's the best way to kind of push you in different directions, is to work with different kind of creative minds. So that's kind of what I hope the next year will hold for me.
Fantastic. Well, look, thank you for taking the time to speak to us, and you know what, have a great show at the Corner. It's a great Melbourne venue, and we're just honoured to have you in Melbourne in Australia. Thank you.
Well, thank you for having me. It's been delightful talking with you.
You're welcome.